Assalamu alaikum dear students. It is the third video for week 8, lecture 16. In this video, we'll talk about the first constitution 1956. In the video second, I was explaining the concepts of the objective resolution. That objective resolution was the first document or step towards a formal constitution of Pakistan. But what happened after the objective resolution from 1949 to till 1956? Why was it so late? This is the real drawback that Pakistan unfortunately couldn't get its constitution designed well in time, and it almost took 7 to 8 years completely to have a constitution. What were the reasons? There are two main things that Pakistan couldn't have a constitution. First, the death of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and second, the assassination of Khan Liaquat Ali Khan in Rawalpindi, and then later on the civil bureaucracy and the military bureaucracy or establishment, their constant intervention in the matters of the state, parliament, public and management. They prevented Pakistan to have a truly democratic parliamentary Islamic constitution. Other reasons are also incapability, lack of leadership, corruption, lack of education, both in the public and also those who were controlling Pakistan and had kept controlling Pakistan over and again. They were never the people of level of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Khan Liaquat Ali Khan, Sardar Abdul Rabb Nishtar and others. These political leaders were the truly chiseled and celebrated people who had lived a life under the British rule, who had been collaborating with the Congress, who had visited each and most of the parts of India, who were politically sound and seasoned. These were the drawbacks that Pakistan couldn't have the constitution. Well, the first constitution of Pakistan was made in 1956, and this constitution, the salient features of this constitution are: name of the country was declared Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Clear? Head of the state was President. Name of the state was Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Head of the state was President. President was considered the head of the state, and the president was to be Muslim, that president must be Muslim. Third thing is all the existing law contrary to Islam would be turned Islamic, कि जो भी कानून इस्लाम के खिलाफ बने हुए हैं और they are repugnant to Islamic teachings, they will be made Islamic. Clear? And if a constitution is so, it will be rebutted. तो अगर कोई ऐसा constitution है तो उस constitution के अंदर if there is any clause, any law violating the Islamic teachings of Quran and Sunnah, that will be rebutted. Then was this constitution was too lengthy constitution, 234 articles, a preamble, and 13 chapters. The students, I have also explained in the previous lectures on the Zoom that a book of constitution is also that is, the documented constitution or written constitutions are normally lengthy. Clear? When you open, for example, you open the booklet of Constitution 1973, you find the first page, table of contents, and then you find preamble. Preamble basically is the, say, a brief of the constitution, that what this constitution is and why this constitution has been made, on which condition this constitution is applicable, and in what conditions this constitution is not applicable. Fine. Minute scopes and limitations and delimitations and many things are expressed in the preamble. Whereas then there are chapter, and under every chapter there is different laws regarding one aspect. Fine. So these are the, say, arrangements of the book of law. Clear? Then the structure of government. Under 1956 constitution, the structure of the government was necessarily to be parliamentary, and this was extracted from the British Constitution, whereas the head of the state should be president. This was borrowed from the American Constitution. Fundamental rights were guaranteed with exception of suspension while emergency, that everybody shall have the fundamental rights except when the emergency is proclaimed by the head of the state. Okay, then the salient features of the 1956 Constitution. Number one, it was written. Number two, Islamic, because it contains and it was based on the Islamic principles. 3. Unicameral House in this constitution, for the legislation purposes, and the electoral college. 2 houses were devised, mean National Assembly and Senate. And this National Assembly and Senate was for both East Pakistan and the West Pakistan. Parliamentary form of government, both assemblies of the provinces and national assemblies were the electoral college for the election of president, prime minister, and its cabinet was assisted president. They assisted president, and they were elected for 5 years. President had to act in accordance with the advice of cabinet, except where he was specifically empowered by the constitution. Means that it was a parliamentary nature. Most of the powers were with the parliament, whereas the other powers were with prime minister, president. Those were called specific powers. Separation of power in this constitution. Powers were separated among the organs of state such as legislature, judiciary, and executive. Each organ had to act with the limits prescribed in the Constitution. Next is division of powers. That the division of powers mean the इख्तियारात जो हर इदारे को हासिल होते हैं उसकी हद क्या थी. Powers of the center and units was defined. Provinces were free to act within the limits defined in the constitution. Provincial autonomy was granted. कि जो मरकजी हुकूमत है उसके क्या इख्तियारात हैं वो बयान कर दिए गए थे और उसके साथ जो दूसरे यूनिट्स हैं उनको भी बयान किया गया और ख़ास तौर पर जो सूबे हैं उनको सूबाई खुद मुख्तारी दे दी गई. अडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज्ड इलेक्शंस के बालिग हजरात जो थे बालिग लोग वो हिस्सा ले सकते थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इलेक्शन के प्रोसेस में वोट डाल सकते थे. फेडरल सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट और ये एक वफाकी तर्ज का सिस्टम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था. सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट वाज फेडरल इन विच प्रोविंसेस वर गिवन ऑटोनॉमी अंडर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सूबों को सूबाई मुख्तारी हासिल थी. Separate lists are provided under the system for the law making and every unit is free within the limits prescribed the constitution. Cabinets were answerable to their respective assemblies. Clear? और जो कैबिनेट्स थी जो कैबिनेट टीम होती है मैनेजमेंट की जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर के तहत जो टीम ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स होती है वो जवाब देती कि वो असम्बली में अपने एक्ट को रिप्रेजेंट करें. Guarantee of the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights were guaranteed to the public of Pakistan except when they are emergency case. Urdu and Bengali were both the national languages. Name of the country was Islamic Republic. And next is powers of High Court and Supreme Court. Supreme Court and High Courts were given the power of the writ to take action against any gross constitutional violation or human misconduct or human rights violation. This constitution is wonderful because it was Islamic nature, but this constitution was the shortest living constitution of the history of Pakistan. It worked only for 2 years and then Ayub Khan took over the power and he discarded this constitution and imposed martial law and introduced the concept of basic democracies and the constitution of 1962. Thank you very much.